Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, beautiful viewers, and I'm super duper excited for today's reading, where we'll be taking a look at what sort of major realization or understanding are you coming into, some sort of great awareness or epiphany of truth that is coming into your consciousness here. Okay, so before we get into the reading, I just wanted to thank you guys for being here with me today. And I should have known I'm reading for all the light workers and healers that are tuned into the frequency that I'm tapped into here. So you guys have been very in tune with my energy, and thank you so much. I feel so blessed and appreciated here in this channel. And yeah, I'm absolutely fine. I'm just shifting energies here, and when we shift to a higher frequency, sometimes we do get pulled back by lower frequencies trying to hold us back or keep us staying kind of in that same or stagnant energy. And sometimes the polar opposite sort of energy is drawn to us. So the brighter we shine, the more moths are drawn to us, just like polar opposites attract here. Okay, so yeah, as I shift here, I'm tapped into higher sort of energy frequencies, so things are getting very much more clear to understand, except at the same time lower frequencies are becoming challenging for me to really understand the language, like the energy of lower frequencies. So yeah, Spirit and I have had some dialogue, and I said, Spirit, like, I'm wanting to deliver readings here for those who are needing the most amount of healing. So generally when we need a lot of healing, we're in lower vibration. Okay, so I don't know, I'm hoping I can channel, you know, for all of those needing healing and assistance here. But I think if there is a frequency I'm incapable of understanding the energy, then then that just becomes a challenge to read. But I always promise to deliver what it is that I'm seeing, feeling, hearing, sensing to you guys as the message. Okay, so you guys are all very safe, welcome here in the space, and I am very excited to get into this reading. I did want to deliver another piece of information. You guys can certainly skip ahead to your pick 1, 2, 3 if you're feeling so inclined, but what was coming through here was, if you are considering starting something, like, I don't know, a business, a hobby, whatever it is, I feel like there might be hesitancy around putting ourselves out there. So what you might want to do is go to your favorite YouTuber and sort their videos from oldest to the newest, and go look at their oldest video and see the progression. Okay, you can certainly use my channel because I do have a ton of videos, and my first video, like, wow, like, even though I did lots and lots of tarot readings up until that point, I haven't done any on YouTube. So it was my first real reading. Well, it was my first reading on YouTube. Okay, I posted maybe one other video on YouTube, but not a reading. And it was, I don't know, it felt disjointed in some way, and it was a little uncomfortable. So, you know, and now, I don't feel like I'm out of comfort here, but we do certainly have to put ourselves into an energy of sometimes just doing things. And this is why I do not delete any of my videos, and I always post it exactly as it is that I'm channeling. Okay, because I don't know, there we can see the realness, you know, and there we can see the valleys and the highs, right? And sometimes we go through a lot of valleys before we get to the top. And also about specifically tarot reading, if like you're wanting to read tarot, you know, like, no matter how many readings I did beforehand, reading on YouTube was just different. So hang in there, like, watch that video, you know, you can watch the first few videos and see the difference in the intuition and the reading. Okay, so don't give up, especially if you're learning to read tarot. You can certainly do it, and there is no wrong way to really read the tarot. It's going to come out to your understanding, to what your intuition's tuned into. Okay, so if you're reading a different definition, but the story all makes sense coming out in your mind, that's the energy you deliver. So with all that being said, that monologue, we have 3 options to choose from, and I will get into the energy of these 3 objects very briefly here so that you guys can tune into it. But if you already know which one you want, then you can go straight to your pick. Option 1, we have this Milfori Italian glass paperweight with the canes. Okay, this to me represents a time where I was really trying to work on my business, understand a lot about antiques and running a website and doing something here that at times was very frustrating because it took many, many, many years, okay, of perseverance. And some nights it'd be working, all through the night and then not saving or deleting and losing everything and being like, that's it. I'm totally like given up on this thing. And it was very frustrating, but at the same time, very rewarding. So here I am, like, I don't know, like 6 renditions of a website later, where I feel okay, where I feel comfortable and confident in what it was that I was kind of doing. But it does also take me back to time in my life where things might have been in an energy that I might have been very much distracted from all of what was going on in order to focus on a goal or focus on what it was that I wanted. And it did form as sort of an escape. Okay, so it did feel kind of like a sort of a lonely energy. And also having to figure out things that I wasn't familiar with, like learning HTML code, back in the day, like, I don't know, like self-taught HTML code, like I know nothing about this, okay? And then having to sit there and figure things out, and just, it was frustration, but it was also a desire to accomplish or achieve something or stay persistent. So lots coming through with this one beautiful, beautiful piece of art glass here. And then we have this stone. So this stone is very funny. I have a china cabinet in my house, and it used to house all my glass until, of course, I couldn't fit any more in there and it just became too much. So I started to house all my tarot cards, and then that soon became too much. And then I started putting all my rocks and crystals in there. So currently it has my rocks and crystals in this cabinet. But there was a period of time where things were just appearing in there. Okay, like random things, like mostly rocks and crystals, where I know for sure I didn't pick it. And so, of course, I have family over, maybe a family member puts it in there. I mean, it's not magically just appearing, but why would someone not say, hey, like I picked this for you, like why would it just sort of appear in there? Unless, of course, could certainly be my children, but they weren't so into the crystals or rocks so much. So this is something that just appeared. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who gave it to me. I don't know much about what it is here, although it does look like it's clay, but it's not, because it's very heavy. And it has all these beautiful little pieces of other rocks in it that look like little crystals, fossils, and like glimmery little like crystals within it. But it's certainly just a rock you could probably pick at the beach. And it looks like it might have been sitting, like this for some time, because you have discoloration. And I've washed this thing. Beautiful red color. And then here it looks a little faded away. So I don't know how long it's been sitting unpicked or where it was sitting. And to me, it's kind of looking like half a heart. Like this is one side of a heart. And then it's like, when you kind of break a heart in half, looks like it's missing another piece of a heart here. That's what it kind of looks like to me. Okay, interesting energy. And then for option number 3, I have this beautiful, looks like a message in a bottle. And this is a gift that my good friend gave to me that I used to work with. And he moved out of town and I'd have to drive there because he was still working for the same company anyway. I would drive there because we'd have to visit his clients. And he had given me a box of these little jars with these scrolls, and he says to me that the time him and I went, we were at the park or something, and I remember we had talked about writing down everything that we predicted of where we would be in certain parts of our life given 2, 3, 5 years. down the road, and we wrote it down, and in certain aspects, like where we'd be in career, where we'd be, you know, in our personal life, and all that. And we didn't show each other, but we just wrote it and kept it in his car. And of course he lost he lost it, or couldn't find it, or I don't know what happened there, but I still grill him to this day. Although he gives me these and he says, you can write down your predictions, you know, and these little scrolls, and put them in there. And I have not opened these, so I'm assuming there's nothing written in there, you know, but they're ready to be written on. And I do love these little jars that he gave me. So I don't know if he's here watching, but he certainly does stop by every once in a while. And I know this because I picked the Bob Ross Oracle cards today for the reading. So he does love Bob Ross, so he certainly may be tuned in. Now, you don't have to pick this if you're here. You can pick any pile or any pick that you're drawn to. Okay, so beautiful viewers, that is the energy sitting with these three objects. The timestamp will be in the description box in the pinned comment. I'll let it run for a little bit. 1, 2, 3, and I will see you at your pick. Hello, my beautiful pile one. You guys picked the glass Milfori paperweight, beautiful art glass, cut canes, and we're looking at what is this major epiphany or great realization of truth that you're coming into awareness of. Okay, so a great truth, something that is now being realized by you. And we have pre-shuffled oracle cards here. I've not looked at them. We're going to use your intuition to tap into what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether this reading is for you. I will lay these cards out. I cannot guarantee you that channeled messages won't come through as I do layout. Okay, sometimes the reading comes out as the layout, and sometimes the reading is after the layout. I don't know, but I will put the timestamp below if indeed there isn't a lot going on in the layout. Okay, so please tune into your intuition, into my intuition, so that we can determine what is going on here for this realization. So we have surrender low self-esteem with this beautiful sunflower. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Okay. We have suppress. And we have habit. Okay. We have male and female. So we do carry both masculine, feminine energies. Everyone does. And if we have our birth chart, we might know where more masculine type energy sits predominantly, or where more feminine energy sits. But we are more dominant in one area than the other. And sometimes we have to learn about balancing it out a little, you know, at least a 60-40 in some way. And so the feminine energy, as we know, is receptive. It kind of allows the universe to unfold. And it doesn't need to control an outcome or force something or take action. Masculine energy is one that takes action, is empowered. And I mean, feminine energy is certainly empowered, sitting in a receptive energy, although there isn't a whole lot of need to exert energy, more so as take in energy. Okay, so getting a lot of masculine, feminine balancing out here with the two. And we have this traffic light that says go. I am going to put this, well, I'm holding that there. Okay. And we have 24 here, or the number 6, accept the seasons of your heart with pain. Accept the seasons of your heart. Okay. We have the sacred purpose 43 with eternal flame, ancestral legacy, or the number 7. Okay. The 7th house is all about equality. We're seeing male, female, the 2. Number 6 is the lovers, which is also 2. We have the shovel. And the shovel that's leaning up. We'll put that with habit. Okay. We have the landscape here with the scenery, the moon, or the mountain. The mountain, okay. We have Bob Ross here with the hair. Interesting. Hair to me is representing ego. We have balance. There we have the 2 again. Masculine, feminine. The dark and the light. And we have harmony. Beautiful. I'll put that there. And the tea leaves, we have dogs, getting together with friends. And we have fan, romance, celebration, and party. Okay. Interesting energy. We have the mugwort with rites of passage. Wow. Powerful card here, rites of passage. That's the energy that goes back to this thing here that I was explaining in the intro. When I was trying to accomplish something, a part of my life here. Okay, rites of passage. Very, very powerful energy I'm feeling from this card here. Okay, so we have courage, strength, fierceness, and family. With the 2 again. The 2, the balance, the masculine, the feminine, the equality. Leo energy. I'm also picking up because the strength card in the tarot is all about the courage, and it has the big old lion, which it could sometimes represent our heart chakra. Okay, and the heart chakra is how we express our soul. It doesn't lie because the heart doesn't lie. It's speaking directly from the soul. So sometimes when we look at our heart, it might be scary at certain times here because we might have to face certain things or need certain strength in order to look at something openly and objectively that we might be having a difficult time to see. Look how intense their eyes are. Both of them just staring ahead here. Which is a gold headpiece. Okay. We have silence with the darkness here. Nothingness, darkness. And we have surrender to what is, flow with what is instead of fighting it. That's more feminine energy. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. Communication. Number 9. And we see a crow. Crows are birds, which is, birds speak of communication, but besides that, the crow is symbolic of death. Okay, and the death is when the old is transitioning out in order to make way for something new. Cycle of life, and we're seeing the knife here, okay, and the chopping board, which is, I'm seeing the sickle in the Lenormand, which is cutting something out, sudden ending, sudden abrupt ending, or cutting something out. And then I'm being taken back to the visions I was having of a door, okay, the door being open or needing to be closed. And these windows are open here, so I feel like they're opening out. And so as we transition here, it looks like there's still rain here, out here. So it might be a sort of a transition that might be a little bit still stormy in some way, but the rain to me is symbolizing emotions because of the water, but the storm could be still something that we have to navigate. Crows are very magical birds, and they deliver and communicate messages between worlds and dimensions here. Okay, see clouds, so maybe still some confusion here in the transition. I am feeling like a phase, one end phase and a new phase in some way here. We have abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Wow, that's beautiful. And then we have 27 with isolation. Look at this crow. So number 9 is about an ending. And I thought I felt, yeah, 9 here as well. Okay, so 9's ending. We have the crow, again, the death. This crow's also in the rain. And look, it looks as though it could certainly be, I mean, the crows are going to look the same. It's the same tarot pack or the oracle pack, but it looks like now it went from this window ledge, which was right at the opening here of this doorway or this window way. And now it's in the storm, in this environment that we could see in the distance. And now it's in here. We see the lanterns, which are giving me the hermit energy, which is introspection, a greater understanding of self. The storm's still happening. The same buildings in the background, which represent the city life. And here the bird is sitting above the clouds. Hermit energy is Virgo energy. I'm getting strong, plus the 9's hermit energy. More Virgo. I'm also getting Scorpio energy and isolation would be hermit energy as well. Okay, so let's put that like this. So heavy Virgo coming through here, and Leo and Scorpio. More Leo, I'm feeling more Leo. Yeah. Okay, so I will put the timestamps in the description box and in the pinned comment that will take you directly to this reading, because I'm going to sit here and try to tap into this so you can go directly to the main reading. And let me see what I see. Okay, pile number 1. I think you've been challenged here with, there is a little bit of ego coming through, okay? I think there might be a heavy, more masculine type energy in your energy field. Because I think there's something here that you might be struggling with. And so it's holding you back from progressing in something I feel you want to do here. There could be a little bit of shame, although I don't think you would call it shame, because I think the ego might be kind of maybe getting in the way here. We might not see it so much. Okay, but whatever it is, it's sitting deep in the subconscious with all this hermit energy. And so I feel like the ego kind of gets in the way. And when I say ego, I'm not saying you're arrogant and cocky and you think you're the best and the greatest. What I'm saying is that our ego manifests in a way that is like devil energy, because it causes illusion. It causes confusion. It causes us to sense like that we're not good enough, or that we're missing something, lacking, or that we are in a more inferior type energy sometimes, okay? Or we could think we're superior, but the ego will manifest in a way of creating some sort of belief system that's created by our conditioning, that's created by our experiences or challenges, and it could be your past lives or just ancestral passing of stuff that gets handed down to us in some way. Now, I'm not seeing a huge big ego, but what I am seeing is that the masculine side's coming through, okay? Because this is the part of ego that is trying to cover something up here, okay? That's more of a masculine type energy. I'm not saying all males do that or more males are doing that, but just the more masculine type energy has a tendency to have to upkeep some sort of persona or some sort of identity of sorts. But I feel like this masculine that I'm reading for here, again, could be your energy because that's what I'm reading, but could be an energy around you, is not wanting to communicate or share a struggle in which he is experiencing here. Okay? And so it's not helping him because I feel like he is feeling alone here. Okay, there is pain here when we feel like we can't be open or honest or communicate what we're going through. And it could certainly be we are fighting some sort of addiction with habit, or we're going through a rough part in our life, or something we're trying to put an end to or bury, something we're maybe suppressing and not wanting to completely be honest or open about, that we are challenged with, you know. And I feel like we want to cut this piece of our challenging life out. Okay, and I feel like you are wanting to or about to transition, to go into a deeper look, understanding above the confusion of the ego here, which keeps us sort of isolated, keeps us kind of keeping up some sort of energy of still not really being honest or allowing things to flow or things to unfold in our lives in the direction the universe kind of wants us to flow through with this rite of passage. Okay, this is the rite of passage. We're about to enter something significant here, and it requires a lot of courage. And it's not more strength in... My phone's ringing. I'll be right back. All right, it was a kind of telemarketing call from Diabetes Canada. Interesting. So, resonate with diabetes here. What I was going to say is, coming from a masculine type energy, we might think there's more courage and strength in bearing down or being silent or suffering through pain alone. So there could be an energy here of, you know, a narrative we tell ourselves. Either it could be a parental voice in our mind, or an upbringing or an understanding that we have that strong men or strong people just suffer and go through their pain or their challenge, their struggle, by enduring it and not allowing others to understand their struggle and their suffering. And this is a misnomer, because it takes way more courage to be open and vulnerable and honest about the challenges we have. That is true emperor energy, divine masculine energy. Okay, divine masculine energy is very much communicating an open truth of something that could appear to be something that would seemingly be a scary part or a challenge, and not bury it or suppress it or hide it. So I feel like the energy of this great epiphany or this realization here, I think there is a surrendering. And the surrendering here is this understanding that we cannot suffer in silence alone, that we sometimes do go through challenges, whether we are masculine or feminine, and that we come to an understanding that when our ego gets in the way, because it is something that we've developed as a coping mechanism of sorts, it then holds us back from what it is where we're trying to really sort of go towards. Because I feel like if you maintained in the energy in which you were sitting in here, which does seem to stem from some sort of, it's saying low self-esteem here, but it's more of a, because, you know, when you think of low self-esteem, you think of someone who is not confident, who is shy, who is that type, which it could certainly be, right? But I'm not sensing that with all this Leo energy. You know, what I'm sensing is someone who is confident, somebody who has a very strong energy, okay? Leo is one of the more confident signs in the tarot, which is all over this reading. It is strong masculine energy. Okay, and so, but when we hang on to this persona of strength and confidence, and so much so where we're shifting into this more masculine energy at the expense of the truth, in which there still is a truth here of something that is requiring some sort of communication. So either communicating to your counselor, communicating to your partner, communicating to the situation you're dealing with, if it's work, that you're struggling with something here, instead of not doing it. But it's the people who build their overconfidence in an area or their strength as a persona here that actually have a low self-esteem part within themselves. There's a part of themselves that feels they need to compensate in some way by creating this persona of ego that protects a vulnerable side of them. Like I said, it could be just an understanding we have here of real men don't cry, or real men carry through and don't burden anyone else. Like that sort of an energy is kind of what I'm picking up here, okay? So I feel like we are dealing with something here, and it's something that's hindering you, or hindering this situation that you're trying to do something, or there's a need to know sort of basis here, because I do feel like it's an obstacle with the mountain, and I feel like it is in your current environment. Like it's a glaring thing that's in your environment here that needs to be talked about or expressed or shared or communicated. And the surrender to what is, it's like being accepting of what you're experiencing here, because you want to sort of go through this transition period to be able to rise above. So I feel like we might have to enter into a period here of stormy weather. And I think it's stormy because we might not want to experience the emotions that come with this, right? Be in the rain, deal with the storm. It'd be great to just sit here in the inside where it's warm and not raining. But the bird, what sort of freedom does it have indoors sitting here with a cutting board, Out there, there's the whole world, there's the whole city life, there's everywhere and everything this bird can explore on the outside. So it can't stay in here forever. And I feel like the rain, it has to be faced one way or another. Like it's going to constantly be raining for this bird to have to face the rain. In order to go through this rite of passage, they have to face the rain at one point or another. It's going to rain out there in the environment, okay? So with the silence and the isolation, this big hermit, like hermits coming all over this, and that's where we retreat, sometimes from the world, or we have to really just sit in a reflective energy, contemplating. And since this reading is about the epiphany, I don't know if you sit there in great contemplation about some sort of truth here, but I feel like you sit above the confusion here. You're sitting above the fog. But what I find interesting is that this bird still can't see below the fog. So it's sitting at a level here, it's sitting at a level here, but I feel like it's still cannot see. It still cannot see because I feel like the fog is representing to me this ego layer. It's representing to me the subconscious. And this is kind of dark, like the subconscious here, okay? And the feminine energy is, I need to dig into the subconscious energy, because the moon represents the female, which is all about what's suppressed and hidden. And so I do feel like upon reflection, there is a reflecting into our subconscious and seeing maybe this part of ourselves that maybe we never knew about us before, that we always believed to be courageous and strong. We had to upkeep some sort of confident persona and dismiss the real struggles of life here. But there's a balance we have to find here. And I feel like by finding this, we're able to work with an environment here that provides more cohesion, more harmony. But if we don't communicate what this is, no one will really know the struggle. And masculine or feminine, we all go through different seasons of pain and happiness. It is a part of life. It's something we go through. So it is human, more human for us to experience this. And it is more human of us to share our experiences. And it is more courageous for us to openly share and express what we're going through with the ones we love or the ones that need to know. And I feel like this is a huge rite of passage for us, because this might have held us back in a lot of ways in our life where we felt we had to keep trudging along, carrying a heavy weight of something. So I feel like this eternal flame coming through here is very strong. It's like the eternal flame, you know, it's really tied in nicely to this rite of passage. I feel like there's something here that you're about to transition into, like this huge next step in your life that is pushing you to go through seeing this about yourself, that is making you uncomfortable, that is going to hold you kind of hostage here to see this until you can enter into this understanding, so you can graduate, okay, from this phase to the next phase of, I think, what you want. Because on the other side of this is the abundance. On the other side of this is the celebration, the romance, the coming together, the getting with friends, is the joy, you know. So we can trust the people in our lives. I'm getting loyalty, friendship from the dogs, our partners. Because I do feel like you have a community of people you can trust here. You don't have to feel isolated. You're not forced to sit isolated here. So let's pull some tarot, okay, and see what Spirit wants to communicate kind of as an out message here for you. Spirit, thank you so much for this beautiful message for pile 1. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Can we please get some further clarity? What are they needing to know? Anything I've missed for pile 1? Any questions they might still have regarding this realization of truth, this epiphany, this great realization? What do they need to know for the greatest and highest good of pile 1? Thank you so much, spirits. And thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. Thank you so much. Truly blessed to have you here today. We have the Tower. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Creatrix, which is the Magician energy in this tarot. And we have Judgment in the reverse. I am going to read it as they come out. And this is the Epiphany card. Okay, this is what this reading is all about. And this is in the reverse. Okay, why is the Tower here, Spirit? We have the Four of Pentacles. Why is the Magician here with the Creatrix? We have the Chariot. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana, which is quite significant. Okay, this is definitely the universe getting involved here. We are getting a major sort of push in this direction. The Sun, another major arcana. This is so powerful, and maybe you guys feel it, you know, this need to do thing, because the universe is really up your ace about this, okay? Because I feel you're on the verge of this, pushing you to this eternal flame thing, which could be your purpose, the sacred purpose, your calling. It's the abundance and the harmony that you're being pushed towards, and you might not feel it because you feel like you're being pushed towards chaos and storm. It's your comfort. It's out of your comfort zone. Here, the fates. What did I just say? What did I just say? Oh my tiddly tie. Sorry. Wow. Wheel of Fortune. Holy camole. I'm getting goosebumps, you guys. We have 6 major arcana cards here and the 4 of Pentacles. The only thing getting in your way is you. You are hanging on to an understanding of a way to be here, okay? And I do feel it is from the ego place. And I'm not saying, again, that we're egotistical or we think we, that we're the greatest and we're overly cocky here. It is the ego place that is telling us that we have to be strong or be the man or be in control by bearing down something here. So we suppress it, we dig it, bury it, and cover it up. Something we might need to communicate, and maybe we're just really trying to cut it out of our life in some way. Now, I don't see the devil, so I don't see it's a bad habit so much as like a toxic habit here, but we might ask that because I don't know what the thing is here. And it might not even be that exact example that I gave, but it's like we're thinking we have to be a certain way because that would mean we're the person in charge or the one who has control or the one who whatever, and it's not true. So what do I see here? The Wheel of Fortune, divine timing in play. The universe is in control. Okay, the wheel is spinning. This is fated. This is destiny. This is the universe. Nothing we can do can control what the universe is unfolding. Sometimes this is needing to be in very receptive energy, feminine energy, not getting in the way of what the universe wants. Let it unfold the way the universe is unfolding. Okay, Jupiter energy, expansion. This is, Jupiter represents the sign of Sagittarius and Pisces. We have Virgo coming through again, and Gemini, and communication coming through with the Magician, which is Mercury energy with the Creatrix. Okay, we have Cancer energy with the Chariot, and then more Leo with the Sun, and that's giving me ego. So, what's the Tower? This is the Epiphany card, okay? This is the major realization. This is the shattering of illusion. And look, it happens to be a person's head that's like getting struck by lightning. It's like this person is being struck in half, Again, I'm getting the masculine, feminine energy, like the 2 halves. Oh my goodness, look at that, you guys. I couldn't, oh my gosh. Honey, the tarot lady, she's spooking me out. She must be crazy. Look, it's feminine, masculine here in the Tower. And the I don't know if you can see the lightning strike. So we have the feminine, masculine, 2 halves of their head. This is you. You have masculine, feminine energy here. There's a major strike of lightning here, okay? I need to find the balance between our receptive energies and our masculine. And so I feel like this great realization that takes place because the Tower is this sudden epiphany. It's the falling away of old beliefs. It could be the falling away of a big lie to self, where we sat and we contemplated in hermit energy and tried to reflect and and we're still in fog and maybe we can't see past it. And it's like, why not? It's like, well, maybe the belief we have here because of the ego. Poor Bob Ross is getting the finger tap. Bob Ross's hair is getting in the way. Okay, the hair, the ego, the conditioning, the thing that we experienced a long time ago that made us feel that we had to be in a certain energy in order to be the man or to be the woman or to be the strong one or to live a certain way. And now that our life is experiencing something very true, okay, because what you're experiencing is something very true. Accept the seasons of your heart. Everyone goes through whatever you're going through here, okay? I'm not saying your story specifically. Of course, it's unique to you, but we're human. We all go through challenges, and so what I see here is that this strike of lightning is the epiphany, and it's the self-realization with the Hermit really talking about self. And we may be coming into a bigger realization that we were getting in our own way, that we were in our comfort zone, that we were wearing a mask, that, oh my goodness, look at that. This mask is on a book. Okay, the book to me is all about an understanding, like what we're conditioned to learn from the book. So it might be an understanding that we held because it was taught to us, because I'm getting Hierophant energy. But because the mask is here, it's whose tradition or whose belief or whose knowledge were we being taught? Whose? Okay, because what it was doing with this Four of Pentacles was keeping us really stuck. And it is the comfort zone. And so we tend to live our life in this way rather than say, you know what? It is scary for me to explore outside of this, because when I look outside of this everyday lane that I'm sitting in here, I have to face this storm. And Spirit is showing this is just a transition period. The storm passes, but this storm will not pass until you go and face the storm. The fates is the universe telling you this is the rite of passage you have to go through. Once you release this, there's no avoiding this. There's no avoiding that mountain. You cannot move it. It's not going to change. You can't suppress it until it disappears. The mountain will be there. The obstacle, the challenge is going to be there. So we welcome it, but we don't suppress and avoid and not wander outside and stay as this bird indoors, trapped, you know, because we say, well, I don't want to face that. We need the courage. That's the true strength, is the bird saying, you know what, like I have to get out of this comfort zone of being dry and indoors and go wander into the rain here until it subsides, and then I'm free to explore all of this abundance, you know, until I understand it. Because we might have to sit with this uncomfort, storm and fog for a while and not see clearly. So we might feel very alone, but we don't have to feel alone. That's the thing. So I feel like we're hanging on to something, and this is the card of where we might be telling ourselves we have everything we need, but it's at the risk of something very abundant. It's at the risk of not taking a chance in the big world out here, the eternal flame, because we'd rather stay in this little apartment flying around needing more freedom. Okay, so I think freedom's out there. And look, this other side, we have the tree with roots here. So this could certainly, like the tree of life, is like ancestral. So I feel this might be ancestral sort of conditioning here, okay? Something we're conditioned to believe in. Maybe it's our parental voice telling us that, you know, a real independent woman has to do this, or a strong independent man must not do that, or whatever that voice is here. So this is all about you, and this is the only minor card here. Okay, everything else is major, which means this is happening. The world is, and the universe is going to unfold in this way, and you're kind of getting in the way here with this, okay? Because we do have free will to still choose here, but the universe starts making things very difficult and uncomfortable for us. So the universe wants you to go for out this window here, okay, and explore this. So the creatrix is the magician. Magician is, like I said, Mercury energy, which is communication, but the magician is able to manifest things as above, so below. I feel with this creatrix, it is creating something here in your world that I feel you want to create, and the universe wants to help you create this. The universe wants you to move forward. The Chariot is the balance card. Here we see again the dark and the light, the masculine and the feminine, integrating parts of our ego, then the healthy parts with the healthy parts, in order to keep the chariot upright so we can navigate and stay upwards through our journey. Because when we are too much in the dark, the chariot tumbles. If we're too much in our light, the chariot tumbles. So we have to learn the balance of the masculine and feminine so that the chariot keeps moving, okay? The universe wants you to be successful. The chariot's about forward movement, success. So you do get there successfully, but we need to maintain balance, and you're capable of this, creating this balance. But what's happening here is, this is the Epiphany card, okay? This is having to see, this is having to deal with the karmas, this is having to really look at truths, our truth about situations, truth about everything that's happened up until this point. And at judgment, when it's in reverse, it means we're not either wanting to acknowledge something or see something for what it is. And so we could tend to repeat patterns, okay? Because we go from judgment either into the world where we close it out, because that's the next major arcana card, and I don't see it here. We close out a cycle, we graduate, we go through the rite of passage. This is the world card. Okay, so I'm getting world from this. So what we have to do is acknowledge something here of self, of why we're hanging on to something. Okay, and when we acknowledge this, then we see it for what it is, and we can close it out and enter that rite of passage. But until we acknowledge and be honest, we sit here. And sometimes we repeat the cycle, and we might have been repeating cycles here with this in different areas of our life by suppressing or being in a certain way, feeling that we had to be in a certain way. So where's this Chariot going? Straight into the sun. This is my most positive, beautiful card here in the tarot. This is all about joy, abundance. This is also masculine energy. And look, we have masculine, feminine here again. Okay, so in the masculine card, guess what we see? We see a beautiful divine feminine energy. So I feel like you're really in a masculine energy is really what I feel. And there's a need to embrace the divine feminine energy here. And the feminine sits in being open, being receptive to emotions. Okay, it might seem very difficult if we haven't done this, but that's where that feminine energy comes through again, because the moon's all about facing the fear, facing our subconscious, facing the dark shadows, having the courage to do this. And being honest about what we see there, so we could find the balance in ourselves, so we can accomplish the abundance, so we can have clarity in our life with the Sun card. This is having certainty, clarity, because I don't think you're in clarity right now. I think you're in a lot of confusion. Okay, all the clouds and the fog. I think you want, look at this beautiful picture. The sun's out, the grass is green, there's no confusion, there's no freaking clouds here. Yes, the mountain is there, but it adds to the scenery. So whatever ailment you have, or whatever you're suppressing, or whatever thing that you're dealing with here, I don't know, like maybe you feel like it's something that is not workable in some way, but I feel like it fits perfectly into this landscape here. Okay, like I feel like it just needs to be, it's how we're working with it, it's how we're communicating it, it's how we're integrating it into the other parts of our life. Like, are we suppressing and hiding and making our environment look like this, you know, forever and a day? Or are we welcoming it, discussing it, embracing it, having the courage to face it head on? Like, look how determined this look is, facing something head on, no matter how scary. Masculine energy. Okay, so we might have to embrace that part of our masculine energy. So although I say you're heavy in the masculine, it's like we're still missing that part of the masculine too, which is needing to find the courage to face something head on here. And this is the sort of the end picture here. It's like creating an environment for ourselves that can integrate the shadow part, the obstacle or the hard fixed part of ourselves into the beauty, you know, peaceful energy here. Okay, so I feel you want this happiness and this peace, and that's there for you. And the universe is saying, come on, pile one, like everything is working with you here, and you are this fixed thing that's hanging on for dear life here. But I feel like you're coming into this realization, but I don't think you see it yet. And maybe the realization is that you have not been seeing this, you know, like you see it now, but it's like now you see where all the parts of your life might have been impacted by this sort of an energy that you've carried. You know, why wasn't I seeing this before? You know, or maybe you're realizing where it stemmed from. You know, that it stemmed from a false piece of information or an understanding you had. Like, I feel like the mask comes off, or you understand why the mask was being worn. You know, and when we wear masks, it's not really our authentic self. It's suppressing a piece of ourselves here. So maybe we're learning how to habitually be in both energies, or how to integrate both energies here so that it becomes habit. You know, like this magician would do. Like really being able to work with the ingredients here to find the balance. Like you have the capacity and the capability to do this till it becomes habit. And maybe we're rocky, you know, we're not sure how to blend the two. I'm seeing temperance energy too, which is also another balance card. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh my gosh. Honey, the tarot lady, she's freaking me out. Look at this. Death card. Scorpio energy. This is, like I said, with the crows, okay? This is death. Like, the dying away of something here that no longer is, that you gotta kind of accept letting go of in some way so that you can transition. It's the death of something that's been keeping you back, right? It's like that mask now needs to be discarded. It no longer serves you. So this is not just an ending. This is a spiritual transformation with the death card, okay? This is a huge, major spiritual shift in our life where lots of parts of us that really is not serving us needs to go away to make way and clear the playing field for the new. And so there's a major aspect of you here that I feel you're hanging on to. Okay, but I do feel there's a release here, and this is the rite of passage to the new. This is the sacred purpose, the eternal flame pulling you towards this. Another major arcana, Scorpio energy. I'm so tempted to see the next card here. Ten of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, family card. This is our legacy. And sometimes we refer to the Four of Pentacles as the false emperor. Okay, the false divine masculine emperor who thinks he has an empire, and all he has is a Four of Pentacles. Okay, so it is something that appears to be his stability, but it could be lost at any point, and it's something we have to fight for or hang on to. And if he only realizes he lets go and doesn't have to be so held back in some way or hanging on to something so tightly, that he can actually find his empire. The Ten of Pentacles is the true empire. This is what the Emperor has. He doesn't have a 4, he has a 10. Okay, this is the final card here in the Pentacle suit before you go into the court cards. And the Ten of Pentacles is your legacy, your family, what you kind of build for yourself over time. You know, and I think you want something that could stand the test of time. You don't want this. This is this. The tower is built on shaky ground. It's when we think we have an empire, we think we built a building, and we built it on sand. So at any time the storm comes and this tower crumbles, okay? But when you have a Ten of Pentacles, this tower won't impact this. This is strong, like this tree. It's sturdy, it's well-rooted. Okay, it might take quite some time to build this Ten of Pentacles, but it's not a 4. It opens that door, opens the window. Now we go from a 4 and work our way to a 10. Okay, but I feel like working the way to the 10 is so much easier once we get past this 4. Okay, once we get past the 4 and we acknowledge something here, we open the door to really building this beautiful empire, this long-term vision of happiness, family, whatever that means to you, of success. Okay, so I'm going to leave this with that. This is a very, very powerful reading here. Pile 1. If you're drawn to another pile, then I will see you there. And if not, I love you guys so very much. You guys got this, okay? Let's see what we see here with all truths, and just be open to the universe, because the universe is where's that fate card? Yeah, the universe is guiding you. Just let the universe unfold this, okay? Don't resist. I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 2. You guys picked the mystery stone. That looks like half a heart. So let's take a look. Pile number 2. What are we looking at? Well, we're looking at what sort of great realization or truth are you coming into awareness of? Okay, so what's the big epiphany you're having, or what are you finally starting to see as a great truth about yourself, or whatever it comes through here as a truth that you're coming into awareness of? So I have not looked at these. Okay, these are oracle cards that are pre-shuffled. Just to save time, I will be most likely putting timestamps directly to your reading. Although sometimes the reading comes through in the layout. As I lay the cards, I get significant messages from Spirit. So I know sometimes it's challenging to sit through it, but that's how I channel, and it does help to tune into your intuition. So if there is timestamps below, you can go straight to your reading, or you can tune into your intuition with my intuition here to determine whether indeed this is your reading. Okay, so let's take a look. Reaching your dreams, go for it. Wow, beautiful. Don't mind if I do. Okay, we have 50 with trickery. Okay, 5 is a challenging number. We have 2 birds there. We have 35 with perspective, or the number 8. And this is giving me hangman energy with perspective. Another crow. Birds are all about communication, and crows are delivering messages between worlds here. I'm seeing poppies. And poppies, because it always takes me back to kind of Remembrance Day. It's like things of the past that we can't forget, and nor should we forget about, but that might limit what we're doing in the present or keep us from doing something here. So I feel like there's past energy that might be interfering in some way, but I see also the dandelion Make-A-Wish seeds, I guess. We pull these dandelions as they go out, as they go into seed, and we make wishes. So I don't know, is there a wish of the past, or is there a wish to release the past here? I don't know. There's a perspective sort of needing to shift here. Okay, let's keep going. We have surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. Okay, failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So if you did skip the beginning, what I'm getting, okay, and I did make mention, if we're fearing or procrastinating about taking a chance on something, because I did have this message for someone, and I don't know if you skipped it, but I feel this might be coming through. What I was getting with the objects for the first pile, the message really came through mostly with that one, okay? So you might be resonating with one, but what I was getting was that if we wanted to create a business, a hobby, start tarot readings, whatever it is that we're wanting to do and pursue, we have to put ourselves out there. And so I feel like sometimes when we are afraid to fail, or afraid to look foolish, or afraid of taking that step, it holds us back and we procrastinate. So I encouraged, the viewers to go and check out your favorite YouTubers' videos and sort it through the oldest and look at their very first video, especially if they've been on YouTube for a while. So you watch their first video and then you compare it to their recent, and you see this metamorphosis. Okay, so it might have seemed like a failure at the time of maybe the first video in comparison, but it was sort of the first step in great success. Okay, so I'm feeling here there's maybe procrastination about taking a step in some way, because there might be some sort of, I don't know, like hesitation about failing. Okay, so surrender. I can release my need to control. Okay. And we have guide, the illuminated path with 21. Look at that. Her hands are glowing here and leading the way. And we have a wolf. 21 is the number 3. Okay, and we have duality, many meanings, misunderstanding, 36. Or the number 9. Duality. Many meanings, misunderstanding, perspective. When we start to get very fixed in one way of seeing something, we don't see other meanings, or we start to get into a lot of misunderstandings. Okay, we have choice. The 2 pathways here. Also talking about duality, choice. And we have play. Look at that. 3 people playing. We have these tea leaves. So we have dagger, fear, worries, intense situations. And then we have career with this desk. Dagger and career. We have 16. To you, the earth yields her fruit, buying and selling. Wow. Okay, 16 or the number 7. 7th house could be about contracts and business partners. It's also about equality. So we have duality, choice, equality, which could be the 2 here again. Interpersonal style. It's also about relationships and marriage contract. Okay. We have medicine man or woman. Medicine man or woman with the dream catcher. And look, this is the dream catcher, and we have reaching your dreams. So Something about a dream and healing coming through here. Very strong. Healing with hands. I'm getting Reiki. I'm getting a healer energy coming. More hands. Okay. Conform and compulsion. And we have the starry night with the stars and the moon. And we have this sort of pulsating energy, kind of like an aura surrounding this person, like a silhouette, shadow person, compulsion. Okay, we have from the Bob Ross Oracle, the bird with the blue jay. Put that there. We have the darkness. The darkness doesn't look very dark to me. It's interesting. And we have involution. Involution. Okay. So before I get into your reading, I am going to read the involution here and the darkness, and then we'll get into your reading. So if you don't want to hear that, you can certainly skip ahead, but I am being called to read this. And I do believe it's fairly short message here. So the darkness, I don't know if these are alphabetical. I think it is. Okay, so we have some of Bob Ross's most compelling paintings were dark, starting with a black canvas and then filled with deep blues, reds, and purples. Bob understood there must be both dark and light, good and bad. You've got to have the opposites, duality. Dark and light and dark continually in the painting. If you have light on light, you have nothing. If you have dark on dark, you basically have nothing. It's like in life, you've got to have a little sadness once in a while so you know when the good times come. The darkness teaches us patience and encourages us to hold on a little longer until light is added to the canvas. You guys might be drawn to 1. Okay, pile 1 was a big message of this whole sort of dual masculine, feminine energy. Okay, let's take a look at this involution card. I just got to find the book. Give me a second here. All right. Involution. Look at that. Perfect. The mind acts like an enemy for those who do not control it. We all have a monkey mind, which the Buddhists consider to be the unsettled, restless, capricious, whimsical, fanciful, inconsistent, confused, indecisive, uncontrollable parts of our consciousness. This aspect of the human mind makes us feel as though life happens to us and not through us. Our thoughts can often feel like they are not our own, and yet we must remember that we can still choose at every moment which thoughts are being fed by our energy. Evolution is the concept of life undergoing gradual development and growing into something new that can be used as a potent metaphor for our inner and outer journeys. Involution, as an esoteric concept, can be viewed as the process of integrating the growth of our consciousness in conjunction with the growth of our living universe. Your mind is a playground of expression. Awareness travels through this playground and believes anything you tell it. This is the moment to construct your thinking. What we are thinking about most and how we think about these things will create what we experience and how it affects others. If you hone in on what you attend to, you can experience single point focus and the ability to direct your awareness. This gives you the mental fortitude to complete any task you desire. So if there is something you have left unfinished, now is the time to cultivate this talent and push it through to the finish line. Beautiful message. One that I deliver here very often in this channel in regards to things don't happen to us, they're happening for us, and we are the creator here of our world. Okay, so I'm going to channel into this energy. Let me feel into this for a bit, and then I will get into your reading. Okay, pile 2. So your message here, I feel it is one where you're going to have to kind of go through coming to this sort of understanding on your own. And I know this ties in beautifully with this type of reading, but it's almost like I feel like there's nothing I'm going to be able to say to you. It's kind of how I feel. That's going to get through to you, because I feel like until you understand what it is that I'm saying here, it might just be words, okay? Because we really need to shift how we're seeing things, and the shift comes really from within. And it only starts there from within when we have an experience that then clicks. And it clicks because then we can feel it, and then we start to see things differently. And the clicking that happens here is that you come to an understanding that for a while you were living in an energy that was very much from an outward world coming inwards. So you're at the mercy of, I have to, be at my 9 to 5. I have to do this, and I should be doing that, and I need to do this, and these are the things that we know in the real world are in front of me. So therefore, my understanding is that this is the output. And in the real world, yes, but that's matrix speak, and that limits us, because spiritual people know when you start talking about the esoteric and spirituality and the realness of all other dimensions when it comes to energy and the unseen, that the matrix world and what we're seeing with our eyes and feeling with our senses is such a small little piece. And when we break out of that, we see everything from a different perspective, that we know we're the creators. We don't just read law of attraction and say, if I repeat it enough and kind of believe it, it comes in, and that's great. I mean, if we do law of attraction, that's fine. But it's so beyond law of attraction and that sort of belief system. I mean, if you start there, great, because some of you guys might be learning the law of attraction here, which is like shifting your energy into a more positive thing, which brings in more abundance. But when we go above that and we really understand that we are like God energy, okay? We're source, we're universe energy, and we're housing in this meat suit this energy of God being expressed, coming through us, and we are the creator. So we're creating in front of us the very thing that it is that is happening to us, or for us, I should say, okay? And it's difficult to wrap our mind around this, because the mind wants a logical, conceptual thing that it can fit in some box. And there's a lot of energy that we can't fit inside a box of understanding here. And this is one of them, where when you know that everything that you've ever experienced, the good, the bad, the ugly, the hurt, has all been a manifestation of your own creation. And at first blush, it is painful to hear, because why would anyone want to experience pain and suffering and all this? It's because this is energy, okay? Energy carries with it karmas. Energy needs to find a way to balance itself out, and it always does. That's what karma is. So some lifetimes energy might be in one energy, and then other lifetimes it shifts, and sometimes we are someone else's karma, and sometimes we're the karma. Yeah, the other people are karma for us. So what I'm seeing here is that there is something you're wanting to really go after, okay? It's calling to you. And I feel for a lot of you guys, this could be different, but I'm feeling this coming through very strong. Like you have an ability here to be a healer, either to work with your hands, to guide other people, or to do something outside of your norm that might not make any logical sense to anyone else, or at least to your lifestyle. It doesn't fit in. And so we see all the reasons we cannot do this. And although it might be real, okay, like I really need to pay my bill in some way, but we don't trust that there's so many vast other outlets to pay that bill, to say I trust in universe to find a way for me to succeed in something here, and I am going to create the universe in which I want to see here, rather than feeling prisoner and stuck of something here, because then we forever stay in that sort of energy. So I know this is a difficult concept, because when people who understand their world to be a certain way, they see that in front of them, and then they believe that that's all that there kind of is. So when we're not right in tune with our surrender to the universe and our divine connection to source, to trust, and to say, I am at the mercy of what the universe is unfolding in front of me. Like, if I want love, I need to give love, and eventually it surrounds me. If I want to succeed, I have to put the energy forth of one that succeeds in that area in order to create something. So I feel like there's something you're wanting to create, and the universe is pushing you towards this. You're about to be rewarded with this experience. You're being guided towards this because I feel it is your calling, whatever this thing is. And I feel like it is in the healing world, but it's your dream nonetheless. You haven't really gone for it. And so I feel like you're engaged in the matrix is kind of what I want to say. You know, your life here is not making you very happy in this area, because it feels like it's making you conform to societal beliefs or matrix beliefs or a way you think you have to be because you've been conditioned or programmed to believe. Some of you guys, it could be a business you want to start off, or just there's something here that is, you know, is beautiful, and your service is being called to the world. Like, you're really being pulled here. This compulsion here, I feel like you have the need inside of you, or at least there's a knowing or an understanding, or you feel it, a pull, something here. And so as long as we're in this dual, you know, energy thing, it's disorientating in some way, right? It's like we feel a pull, a calling, we have an intuitive knowing, and we have a dream, and we know certain things, but we can't like concretely put it into being. So it creates this duality, this dichotomy. And so around us, the world isn't supportive of the thing that we're trying to align to. And I feel you're really being pulled and guided. And Spirit is saying, this light is the universe really showing you how to get there. Like, you have the universe on your back here to show you and guide you to get there. So the epiphany here, the great realization, I think, is you understand that the universe is guiding you in such a profound way to getting here, because I think it's been a big challenge for a bit here, because I do feel I've read for this energy. You know, if someone wanting to go after their dream, like, you do have a choice here to make, that you could remain in the same old matrix world or belief system or structure, or give service to what you consistently do or feel you have to do, and no one really has to, or go down the other path of the unknown, you know, and enjoy what it is that you do, which sometimes comes with fear because it looks uncertain. It might not be clear. It might have windy roads, things we're not certain of what it might look like. Like, look at this cluster beep. Okay, there's like stairs, slides, flowers, mushrooms, like, what's going on here? Okay, so sometimes entering this world, especially if we're very structured, is scary, but we know it'd be fun with the play, or we might not think it'd be fun. And the universe is saying, this is fun because this is where our heart lies. This is what we're being guided to, because we can still be in an energy here of service and doing what we love in order to create fun here, even though it might be unfamiliar to us right now because we don't see what we don't see. And so when we shift this perspective, we start to see things differently, okay? Because I feel like you're really gifted here. I really feel you're gifted here. There's something you're having to really give to the world. And in order to do this, there is a need to surrender control of how you're living your life right now. Okay, so you're delaying this gift or moving into this. You don't want to fail by all of the earthly limitations that we put on ourselves that keep us held back. And so we might feel as though the universe is trying to pull us in a direction, but we don't want to be tricked, or we don't want to fail. We don't want to trust what it is that we're intuitively being guided towards, because what if it, you know, is an illusion? What if it just pulls us and then all of a sudden we don't get to what it was that we wanted, or something is risked that doesn't need to be risked, okay? Like giving up our career, or, you know, moving to the other side of the world to create something here. And I feel like there's a lot of stress in what you got to do. So we're still kind of in old energy with the poppies. We're still living in the past, and it's at the expense of the dream, the wish, the dreams, making a wish. Okay. To you, the earth yields her fruit. I feel you're providing service, healing, something beneficial here as fruit to others, as a service to humanity here. Okay. But I also feel like by doing that, the universe wants to gift to you the fruits of the earth. Okay. And I feel like you're going to enjoy yourself, although I feel like you're hesitant, very hesitant here in entering some sort of unknown territory of what's up, what's down. You know, so I won't be surprised if we see 2 of Wands here, or if we see a 4 of Pentacles here, that sort of energy, hanging on to the old, not following the path of our Dharma. And be in tune with your dreams, like not just the dream of this thing that you have, but like your actual dreams that you have. Because what's coming through is our dreams aren't just, you know, a nighttime sort of escapade here of fantasy. Our dreams are guiding us. Our dreams are sometimes very symbolic of things, depending what you're seeing and feeling in the dream. Okay, so it may not necessarily be the dream itself, like what's happening in that dream that's so profound. It's more of the feeling and the symbolism that comes through that dream. Okay, so what you can do is have a dream journal here, because after a certain while, the dream starts to take pattern and they start to make sense, and then we start to understand what our dreams are telling us. So you might be getting more intense dreams here, or more guidance through the dream, because now we are not sure which way to go. And so the universe only can be able to really speak through us through signs, symbols, synchronicities, dreams, the biggest one. Okay, the universe really is coming through you to communicate. And if you're not dreaming, it could be that we're shut down to what the universe is trying to guide us towards here. The path is illuminated for you, okay? So I feel you see 2, but I feel like there's only really one really path here that has your name on it. And it's getting out of the past that's not serving you. It needs to be put away here with the crow, with the death. And I see it's fall time here, okay? And the fall is all about where things die off, like the trees fall. You know, it prepares for this winter period, because we need to go through that in order to have a new spring and birth, a new life. It has to go through the seasons falling. And I think maybe there's fear in allowing things to transition. But this, with misunderstanding and this perspective, I think your mind is understanding something that is a misunderstanding in some way, although it might be true in the real world, I guess, matrix world of limitations. In the earthly plane, it makes sense, yes, but in the ethereal planes, in the other dimensions here of what's happening, is you're being called to make a decision that's pulling you towards your greatest calling here. So let's pull tarot, okay? So Spirit, thank you so much for this message. For the greatest and highest good of pile number 2, what is this great realization, this epiphany, this understanding, this greater truth that they're coming into awareness of right here, right now? For pile 2, more information. Thank you so, so much. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for being here. I do appreciate you so, so much. All right, what do we see? A deeper layer. What is this reading about, Spirits? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful pile number 2. The Chariot, the universe, getting involved, wanting you to move forward and be successful in this endeavor. This is the duality. This is the choice. This is the balance. And when we have certain aspects of ourselves that we need to integrate into who we are, okay, certain parts of our life that, yes, might be a reality, okay? And there's other parts of ourselves that we can not cling on to, like past things, or have fixed ideas about. Okay, like we'd be failing if we release control, or that there'd be this big risk we'd have to take, and so we tell ourselves that something won't happen. And so that's all part of coming from shadow, and shadow, as we know, is ego. It's from the subconscious. It instills fear. If it ever feels heavy, scary, urgent, that's all ego. That's all subconscious stuff, okay? Because our intuition is always very peaceful. It does not fear us. It comes as a very quiet voice, okay? So your intuition is the universe, and it wants you to be successful. But to be successful, we must integrate parts of ourself. Take the fears, take the things that are holding us back, see them, shine the light on them, okay? That's all we have to do. We don't have to go years and years of therapy and try to find out why they're there and how it came about. No, we look at it. We shine the light, and the light is our awareness, the light of awareness. And once you do that, that is no longer dark shadow. It might still be a trait that we have, but we're very aware of it, and it no longer emerges in the same way. It no longer makes us make the same decisions. It now allows us to transcend through the parts that might be unhealthy in the shadow and work with the parts that we can't release in order to become a balanced person. So now when we go through the task or the goal or whatever we're trying to get through, we're now balanced. The chariot doesn't topple because we're not subconscious heavy or shadow heavy. We're not in fear heavy, and so the chariot can't move, and we're not too overly positive and in denial and everything is great. We're now this balanced chariot, okay, with the light and the dark, and we understand the duality, just like I read in this Bob Ross. This is this. This is also this. This is also this. This is also this. This is a whole bunch of this. But specifically, I would recommend you go in the layout and listen to this Bob Ross, okay? Because too much light won't work here, and too much dark won't work. But we can't ignore that sometimes we're seeing things in the dark here that aren't really dark, that just need our light to be shined on. And so when I feel you're heavy in the dark, okay, and that just means like heavy in the fear or heavy in some sort of subconscious thing that you cannot, or it won't, or it hasn't because there's other things, and that's all coming from the subconscious. I think there's stories we tell ourselves to keep us attached to the old narrative, or keep us in this sort of chariot that won't move. And so the universe is giving you a lot of energy saying, hey, pile 2, your path is really bright and lit up here, and I'm going to walk you through this. There is no need to fear. Do release control. We have you. The chariot the universe is in control when we see the chariot. This isn't pile 2 driving. This is universe driving. All pile 2 has to do is keep the wheels of the chariot balanced. Acknowledge what's hidden in the shadow. Acknowledge where the fears are, where the procrastination is coming from. And how we do this is we change how we see things. We change your perspective. Okay, that's shining the light. That's all we need to do here. And so we move through something successfully. The universe wants you to move. You're stuck here in some sort of stagnant energy. I'm going to pull one more here for seeing if Spirit wants to give one more card. King of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So, King of Pentacles is one of the more stationary energies, okay? I'm getting career for one, because the King of Pentacles has a long-established career. He has a legacy he's built, but he's very, very firm and solid. And so I think you have built some sort of empire, or you have some thing here that gives you stability and security. And that's great, okay? But I feel like if we sit here, as this King of Pentacles does, or stand here, however he is, at the expense of filling his heart with all the other things that bring about the other side, the King of Cups, the King of Wands, that's fiery, that's love, that's creativity, that's passion. This king is lacking in this. And so he might be very unhappy here when it comes to engaging in his dreams and his passions and the mysteries of life. And he certainly isn't the most playful king. Okay, he's very serious. And sometimes we need this. That's this duality. Sometimes we need this. And career is something sometimes very serious, but it doesn't have to be. Our career can also be play. You know, ever hear of the people who do what they love for a living, and they say once you find something you love to do for a living, you're no longer working. It's no longer work. You enjoy it, okay? I feel like you're going into something like this. And so I don't feel you're going to be losing any sort of real stability here, but I feel like there's some sort of energy that you're kind of attached to here, okay? Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, this is the career card. This is building something here, okay? This is creating the business. This is working with other teams. This is the entrepreneur that can work with other sort of energies in order to give service to the world, to create products. Look, creating products, okay? Buying and selling. Okay, and it could be, like I said, providing service or whatever the thing is here. I feel like you're being called to do this and you're not wanting to pursue it. You're staying in your sort of comforted, already established, already built empire. And everyone has a choice. I mean, you could stay here, but I think what you realize here is that I don't think you want to be. I mean, everyone wants comfort and material wealth and abundance, and great, but I feel you've achieved this. Successful, check mark, okay? But that's the thing about ego. You know, the ego is the type of energy where we're always looking for the next thing and the next thing, and it doesn't matter how many King of Pentacle energies we're sitting in, we are always out seeking the next thing, because once we drop the ego, we don't need all of that other stuff. We're always living by the fire and the creativity, and from the heart space, the ego is no longer there. And so then we are able to be truly happy regardless of what our sort of financial identity looks like, you know, and it just comes to us anyway. The finances come, the stability comes just through that energy shift, you know, because we don't have to be poor to follow what we love or what our heart calls to us. But I feel like this King of Pentacles, unless he changes his perspective, he's going to be very bored and not happy here, okay? So go for it. Go for your dream. Work with others. And look, I see the moon here. So that is the fear. That's the subconscious we talked about. The need to really shed the light on this. And I think the fear is the business, the buying, the selling, the product, the service, the thing we're doing here with another, to build something, to create something, to transform into this thing. Here I see a moth. Here I see a butterfly. Butterflies are very colorful, and the moths are pretty drab. The King of Pentacles is quite drab, although, I mean, the moth serves its purpose, right? But what is the King of Pentacles without all the other finer things in life? The colorful things, the duality again, the joy, the play, the fun. So I think you're realizing this, that you are capable of taking this leap because you're being guided and pulled by the universe. So you have this beautiful dream, this beautiful gift, this beautiful ability to provide here something, okay? And that you create this. It's not going to come to you, okay? It's not going to just come to you. You're going to create this with your energy shift and your perspective. So I'm going to ask for guidance, okay? Guidance for pile 2. What's pile 2 supposed to do then? What's pile 2 supposed to do? Guidance, spirits. Any questions lingering here for pile 2? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you so much for this beautiful message, spirits. For pile 2, what is the exact steps, guidance? What question do they have on their mind in regards to what they need to do right here, right now, spirit? Thank you so much. We have strength in reverse. This is the courage. You might want to go see pile 1, okay? There might be something in there for you, but strength in reverse, Leo energy. Yeah, and the King of Pentacles was Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I think I missed that. We have 7 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Swords. We feel one more. Ace of Swords is in reverse. And we have the 10 of Cups. Look at that. Spirit delivers. Okay. Leo energy. So Strength is knowing when to be held back and when to press forward. It is really about that chariot energy, keeping the balance. It is that duality again, because we can understand that the right combination, the right mixture of how we have to be allows us the movement, okay, and doesn't restrict us. So when we see the strength card, it requires us to have courage where we might lack in courage, which would be facing fears, okay, knowing when to let go, when we can move through something here despite fears, and be at a balanced pace here, okay, not be too held back, not move too fast. I feel like we're needing to face something here we're not wanting to face, that we might have to risk in some way here to move forward. Seven of Pentacles is the work card again. Work coming through very strong here, okay? The business, putting in the energy, the time, and the investment, okay? So I'm feeling really the investment you have to make here, and maybe fearing that I've put in time, or I'd have to put time, or giving up on something here, that not seeing the fruit of this. Remember, in the fall, because I'm getting really fall energy from this Seven of Pentacles, it's like we have to go through seasons. We all have to go through seasons with the duality before we get to summertime energy. But if we don't go through the steps of what we need to do, we never get to the harvest. We never get to the summer. We never get to enjoy the season we want to be in. So I feel like there's a season you want to be in and you're having a difficult time getting there. And Spirit's saying, don't give up. You got to put in the dedication and the time and face your courage here to know how to move forward, how to press forward. And you'll know when it's time to throw in the towel here if you're defeated in some sort of way. So don't feel defeated. Okay, don't feel defeated here, because there are seasons and there's duality. There's a mixture of good and bad, and without the good, and we can never appreciate the bad. That's this Bob Ross, right? Without the dark, we can't appreciate the light. So I feel like you're not seeing something clearly, obviously, here with this reading being about being able to see some sort of truth. That's what this is. That's becoming honest and clear. Okay? And when I see the sort of truth in the reverse, it's like we're not wanting to see something, or we're not being very clear about something. This sort of truth is kind of pointed in a very weird angle. So either in the upright or in the reverse, it's kind of never pointing up nor down, I feel. And I do feel it ties back to what I was telling you. It's almost like you need a huge shift in how you're seeing things, because I feel as though you're working in an environment where I think you're trying to use your mind. And I think you're pretty analytical. And I think you've probably tossed it over 10 ways from Sunday, and none of it makes sense, is what I think, no matter what. And I think you did a good job with your mind, but this doesn't require mind. Nope. This doesn't require mind. What this requires is an inner standing, an inner knowing. Comes from within. You're being guided here. It might not make any logical sense at all. And that's why it's not clear. You're not quite sure, okay? But your dreams, your guidance, your gut, your intuition is pulling you towards this. It's not a trick. It's pulling you right to this 10 of Cups. This is the most abundant, besides the Empress card I could pull in the tarot. Emotional fulfillment. Long-term happiness here, or happily ever after, with our family or friends. Just in our career, we're emotionally fulfilled. We're able to provide abundance. It's the opposite of what I was feeling from that King of Pentacles alone that looked kind of drab and bored and lonely. This is over the top. This is wishes coming true of emotional fulfillment. Playing all day. Okay. And saying, and I'm getting paid. Playing all day and I'm getting paid. Like, who lives that lap of luxury? Okay. Like, that's beautiful energy that I feel here. And that is the wish. I feel there's a dream. And your dream can bring this towards you. Okay, more stars, wish upon a star. I feel like your dream is here, but you're conforming to maybe using your mind, or how your mind is working here towards trying to come up with a solution. And Spirit saying, no, however you're trying to see this or what you're working with here is not the typical way you're supposed to be coming up with the answer. Think outside the box. Have a complete shift. Trust in the universe. Trust in the feeling, the intuition, the knowing. Look at what is part of your subconscious here. Because I think once you release the fear, because I think there's something here that is not being acknowledged within you, that's holding you back. Okay, and once you see that, then follow more a feeling that you have here. So this is all about leading you by feeling. And it's difficult for a King of Pentacles to go by feels, okay? So maybe that's the thing in your subconscious. It's like we have an attachment here to what we see and our practical world and what we feel. And so it'll forever keep us kind of bored and unhappy and stuck to material things. When the universe is saying, hey, King of Pentacles, there's so much emotional fulfillment you can have here, so much play. It's going to fill your heart up with what you want. But you're going to have to trust us. Okay, so this is what I see, pile number 2. I hope this helped you, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 3. You guys picked the scroll in a bottle, the message in a bottle. Love, love, love this gift from my buddy. I will put it over, where do I put it? Maybe I'll put it right there. No, I might knock it over. You know what? I'm going to put it over here. Okay. Just trust that it is there. Hopefully you guys can see that. So what are we looking at? Well, we're asking Spirit, what is your next major sort of epiphany? What's coming into your realization? Like a great truth you're uncovering here that you might have not have seen in the past. That's coming about your awareness. Please use your intuition, okay, what you will see, feel, or hear throughout this reading to determine whether this is for you. I've not looked at these cards at all. We'll do the layout, and I will put in the timestamp to take you directly to your reading, although sometimes the reading comes out throughout the layout. So I don't know how this is going to come out, but I do promise you that whatever I'm getting messaged here to channel is exactly what I will be communicating. Okay, so let's go through what this awareness is. We have spring, awakening, projects, and renewal. Ooh, love spring energy. Perfect. We have dominance with 16. Okay. Number 7, dominance. And we have abundance, number 1. Okay. We have surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Wow. Okie dokie. We have doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. We have hostilities, conflict, and unrest with 31, or the number 4. Big old moon behind her. Hostilities. 4 is all about stability. The 4th house is about home, or family, or emotions, foundations, children, femininity. We have the moon, which is the femininity, coming through twice. Dominance is kind of more masculine energy. I'm feeling like almost like a submissive and a dominant energy here. Maybe even something kind of, yeah, like oppressive or dominant. Okay. We have Divine Mother, nurturing, compassion, and grace, 37, or the number 10. The moon in the background, Divine Mother is divine feminine energy coming through very strong. And then, like I said, we have that more assertive type masculine energy coming through as well. 10's all about the endings. Okay. And it's to make way for new beginnings. We have listen with the little ammonite shell, conch shell. Listen. And give. Okay. I think I'm going to put these here for now. We'll see if these fit because we have quite a bit of cards. We have 21 with be also the peacemakers, reason and passion. 2 people here, 2 birds here. Be also the peacemakers, conflict and unrest. Okay. And we have transportation. The locomotive train. We have change. And we have share. We have this oracle card of someone, looks like they're writing. I don't know if it might go this way. Yes, they're writing a letter with a pencil here. And we have a library, a bunch of children or people sitting at desks. Looks like a library to me. And we have a clown in this oracle card. A clown. We have Bob Ross with the rebel. That's cute. And we have the snow. Snow, and then we have spring. That's interesting. And then we have resolution. Conflict, unrest. Be also the peacemakers and resolution. Okay, 2 of the tea leaves. We have apple. Temptation will test you. Parrot. Someone will gossip about all your secrets. Okie dokie. So, nothing came through so much, so laying the cards, which is okay. But let me sit here with this energy, and then I will get into your intuitive reading. Okay. Pile 3. I feel such a beautiful energy coming from you. Very beautiful energy here. Although I do feel like there is some conflict with someone going on right now. Not seeing eye to eye. Maybe we have 2 difference of opinions. And I feel you've had to be the bigger person here. Okay. And so I feel like what's coming into your realization here is maybe the role that you actually do play here. And that maybe at some point in time it caused you stress. And maybe this person seemed to maybe appear to have more control in your life, or dictated some sort of energy about you here that I think is no longer the case. Because what I feel is that you're learning a very good balance about how to be nurturing, how to extend grace, how to make peace in situations where there might be a lot of conflict and challenge. Because sometimes when we're dealing with people that we unconditionally love, we sometimes concede in certain areas, you know, and it's really learning how to find the middle ground. And so sometimes it's easy for us to just cut out certain people and be done with it. And sometimes it's more difficult to still be involved, but provide a service to this sort of experience for this person, to the karma, for the universe, and kind of be someone else's lesson, so to speak, okay? In more ways, or in some ways here. And I think this is also teaching you a lesson here, and how it is that you can go between being receptive, loving, open, and extending compassion, and learning when you can give to something because it is either deserving or open or receptive to receive. But it cannot impact your own trajectory, your own sort of direction or mood so much that it has a strong hold on you or puts you at a standstill. And so I feel like you've been at a standstill. And I feel like there's been a like I said, a not seeing eye to eye, or somebody tries to control you or do something here. And like this rebel, I feel is, it's something that kind of happened here, and it happened, and we don't really see why so much. You know, like we do a paint stroke in some area that then it wasn't meant to be there. So then we start to, I don't know, like utilize that into the painting, and maybe where the mountain was, we then start to paint a tree because we, I don't know, like we just started painting over top of something else that wasn't supposed to be in some way. Although I feel like what is supposed to be is supposed to be. Like the painting is supposed to turn out the way it's supposed to turn out, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, like whatever is happening here, no matter how challenging and it's happening for you and for this situation and whoever's involved here. So I feel like the understanding here that you're having is personally where things were very much a winter season, stuck, frozen. Things are starting to thaw out with the spring. Okay, now I don't know about you guys. My spring don't look like that. That looks like summer to me. But either which way, I'm getting renewal here, okay? And I'm getting a renewal of vitality. And this could be renewal vitality that you're completely shifting into, because I don't feel like this situation has gone away. So I feel the shift in this energy is providing you with a new sense of sort of vitalization. And I think what Spirit is saying is that there is some resolution that comes by you being sort of the peacekeeper here, that you weren't seeing or knowing what the end picture was supposed to look like here. So at some point there was a lot of fear, you know, will this painting turn out the way I envisioned? Is the universe going to be plentiful? How will I, you know, there was a lot around needing to understand or know. And I feel like now there's an energy here of, I don't need to know, I just need to go towards what feels right for me. And I know what feels right for me and what does not. And I no longer need to bend to the will of others unless I want to. And so I feel like what happens here is a situation begins to change. The communication or the dialogue, the story in which this was being written changes. However, the painting was starting out to appear to be changes and no longer ends up being the same story. So I'll use the analogy of someone writing a book, and you have a vision here of what the book's going to be. And then by a certain point, just like the brush stroke was a misstroke in some way, and then whatever the mountain became a tree, this story was supposed to be about something, and at some point it changed to something else. So I feel like the story is changing. Okay, the story, the ending of the book was supposed to be one way, but the change happens here because I feel like your ability to not doubt what's going to unfold is exactly as it unfolds. And I feel this brings a lot of peace and allows there to be movement. And I feel like you're in this open energy of finding great balance with this share between you and this situation that allows things to shift. So I think also with the experience that you have through the understanding and the knowledge and the wisdom that you have, I think you're able to guide a situation here with your discernment. And wherever there was an energy that was not receptive, I feel like you're able to tap in a little bit better with the knowledge you have and the wisdom to the situation in order to share that wisdom. So it becomes common knowledge or fuel to find a resolution, if that makes sense. And so we're no longer doing like a tit for tat, or I'm going to do this because this person or this happened. I feel like we're no longer in any guarded energy here, okay? This says someone will gossip about you and all your secrets. Like, I feel like you're not playing any games of being led by any fear here. You're not fearful that if you share your information that it's going to be used against you in any way, because I think maybe in the past it has been. It was a tool maybe being used to assert dominance by someone else in your world. And I think this energy has zero control over you. And so with this temptation will test you. I feel like this might have been a cycle or a phase, a very long phase or a repetitive cycle that we've had to learn or break out of. And so there might have been a lot of doubt in breaking through, or fear in sharing this trueness of ourselves out of fear of being controlled or stuck or repetitive in some way. But I feel like Spirit is saying this is not the case. Okay, that you have an ability now to see something from a completely different perspective of what might have been oppressive and controlling is now seemingly pretty funny to you. It's like you're the almighty knower of truth, reality, and peace, and you're at like a child's game. That whoever you're dealing with here might now just really appear like a child or childish, but you could see beyond where this is kind of stemming from, and you could see it in a way that is more laughable. You know, you can be lighthearted about this. I don't feel like you're outright like laughing at someone's misfortune here, but I feel like you're rising above in a way that it's just funny. Like it's no longer controlling you in a way that's dark and oppressive. It's now lighthearted. It's now just another paint stroke of misfortune that turns out that you know is going to be another beautiful tree where maybe it wasn't supposed to be or supposed to be. Now you have two trees, you know, where you shouldn't have had any. And that's beautiful. And you know that the painting is going to be absolutely beautiful, you know. And same with the book. Maybe it was, you know, why did I start writing about a complete different sort of path here? And you know that the book eventually is going to get to a story worth reading once it's over here. And I feel like the understanding is that you rise above something here because of your ability to be a bigger person, because of your compassion, your grace, your ability to understand things here and overcome hostilities here. I feel like this is coming from a very deep, loving place as well, okay? Because, like I said, we don't always have to remain in oppressive situations here, especially ones where we were feeling very barren. But you don't feel this, okay? There's abundance. This is now being able to reap the rewards here of maybe where you've been not shut out. I feel you've been shut out. You've been not attaining. Things were frozen and stuck. And now we have all of this abundance with the fish. So let's see if we could see some more spirits. What am I missing here? Can we get a deeper layer for pile 3? What is this about? What is this great epiphany, this big realization, this truth of understanding that pile 3 is having right here, right now? Deeper layer. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this message. I am truly blessed. And thank you so much, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. Thank you so, so much. Okay, well, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. I'm getting winter energy from this. Ace of Swords. The Fool. I'm getting this clown energy. Okay. Queen of Swords. What did I say? Ace of Swords. I don't know. I called that the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords came out. Probably felt it coming. Okay, Queen of Swords in reverse. 9 of Swords. And the Chariot. Okay. Beautiful. And what's at the bottom of the deck? Temperance. And under that, we have the King of Swords. I'm going to turn the Temperance around because I don't read bottom of the deck in reverse. So, Sagittarius energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Cancer. So what do we have? Divine counterparts. Okay, the King and the Queen of Swords. That's what I was feeling with somebody. Okay, there's a conflict with someone. And I feel like the conflict could be a battle of wits, not seeing eye to eye, not agreeing. Okay, because the swords here could be we're not communicating. Okay, or having very clear communications. I feel like you might have stopped talking to someone. And I feel like with the snow here, we might have had to kind of go cold, or I don't know, like we might have had to lay a boundary here, okay? Because maybe someone else was being very cold as well. Something about counterparts here. And I feel one energy, which I'm feeling is yours. I said we had to lay a boundary. And so the message is showing the balance here, which was, how do we listen with grace and compassion and be open and receptive? And how do we give when we can give without being taken advantage of? Because temperance is all about the right ingredients in order to create something of substance. So sometimes temperance is about our own temperament. Okay, are we in so much rage and anger because we're so angry and mad about what's happened? Or can we laugh in a situation and find the love here and be compassionate and rise above in order to work with an environment here? And also, are we able to put in a boundary where we felt maybe controlled and maintain that boundary, so that now in the situation we can now create cohesion and something more balanced, which was an imbalance? Because I feel like this person might have been either taking advantage of you, controlling, maybe manipulative, maybe playing mind games, maybe being a little bit of a shit disturber here in some way, maybe acting a fool. But either which way, I feel like there's a finding of the right ingredients here, and I feel you bring the right ingredients. The understanding here is you understand where you're of value and where you're not being appreciated for your value, what you want to work with and what you don't want to work with. It has absolutely nothing to do with this energy around you, because the Queen of Wands doesn't give a shit, okay? She's going to be very much in control of her own accomplishments. She is determined. She is the most beautiful queen here in the tarot. So everyone wants to be attracted to this beautiful queen and be in her world. And so I feel like she was underappreciated and underpaid is kind of what I feel here. And so she got bitter, or she got angry, and she laid a boundary. So what is she doing here? She's understanding this. Ace of Swords, getting very clear, communicating truths. Okay, communicating and seeing a greater truth here. And I feel at one point in time, there was a lot of anxiety around this. There was a lot of doubt. What's going to happen? Needing to know the answers, not trusting the universe. Okay, wanting to paint the picture as it was supposed to be, write the book as it was supposed to be, rather than saying, hey, you know what, let me just surrender and allow the universe to allow the picture to be as it's supposed to be here. Okay, so something that was very much a heavy energy here of anxiety. It might have caused depression. So I feel like you're breaking out of this with this Fool. This is a new beginning. This is the renewal energy, spring energy. Okay, and I feel like it doesn't matter here what's going on. I feel there's this like, just not, I feel you cut cords, or you're no longer pulled or sucked into whatever the drama is here in order for you to be successful in your endeavors and moving forward. Okay, and I do feel as though this is because you're able to find some sort of balance in this situation, because I don't feel as though maybe this is someone that you're able to really not to work with or part with, because it could certainly be your spouse. Okay, with the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. This could be your other half, or your brother, your sister, someone you might have to work with here, okay? But I feel as though whatever grip or hold it had over here on you, that the snow melts, that I feel like you're no longer, and if you were really in this like bitchy energy, or very closed off, or not wanting to talk, or whatever this is anger, and I don't think this is your energy much longer if this is you. Because I don't think this is an energy to be in. I think you want to be discerning, honest, truthful, you know, not taken advantage of, appreciated. but also not hurtful, right? Despite how someone else shows up here. So I'm going to pull some more and see what Spirit wants to communicate to you, kind of as guidance or a final message here for pile 3. Spirit, what does pile 3 needs to know in regards to this message? What is the final guidance? Any questions they might still have here regarding this situation that I might have missed? Anything else? Clear and concise message for pile 3. Spirit, thank you so, so much. I'm truly blessed. Thank you so much. I feel 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. Wow, okay. 10 of Swords in the reverse. I think you tried to release something here. You tried to put an ending to something. A boundary. And you might have went to an extreme with that Temperance, okay? Cut someone out, ghosted them, never talking to you again. I'm very mad. I have conflict. Whatever that thing was, I don't think it's over, okay? I think maybe you wanted it to end, but I think what you wanted to end was the anxiety, the grief, the pain, the suffering, this person being controlling, okay? That 9 of Swords. And I think now we see the Clown for who the Clown is, which is fine, you know? Because we're seeing the lighter side of something here from an open heart space. So that's what this 10 of Swords is an ending, but it's not quite over, okay? I don't feel like whatever we thought was over is quite over. So let's pull, or let's flip these in. I'm going to keep the order here in the way that they kind of fell. Okay, so 10 of Swords in reverse. We have the Fates in reverse. That's the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Lovers. Yes, I do feel a partnership here. This is Gemini. This is Jupiter energy, Sagittarius, Pisces, divine intervention. Okay, divine timing. We have the 3 of Cups in reverse. 9 of Swords coming out again. Beautiful Queen of Cups energy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And the Sun. Sun in reverse. Leo energy. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. Oh my goodness, Taurus. Okay. So, 3 of Cups is this renewal, okay? This is reconciliation and coming together. I feel like something's going on right now that has not yet come together. But I feel you're learning to trust the universe here in cohesion with someone who might be completely have their priorities on backwards, okay? So I feel like maybe you ended something or tried to end something here that's still in your life in some way. So I feel like something got stuck. We weren't sure how we were supposed to move forward. Okay, divine intervention here. And I feel like the universe has to do what it has to do. And when we try to control or we don't trust or we try to intervene or do whatever we're doing here, we slow things down because we are not trusting divine timing. So I feel like things might have come to a halt here because whatever the situation is, I think it needs to unfold in a certain way so that karmas and lessons and everything unfolds as it should. Okay, so I feel like there's been a lot of sleepless nights here with this 9 of Swords, heavy anxiety in just allowing the universe to do what it needs to do. And if something felt stuck, it would cause us anxiety. It would cause us fear. We would start to doubt and not trust what we're doing or how we're supposed to be here. So now I feel there is this understanding you have here with the Lovers that it is your choice to choose what's easy for you, not what's stuck, because maybe whatever was going on with someone here was not flowing, was not cohesive, okay? And so you can't keep butting your head up against the wall, or you can't keep engaging with someone who's trying to control. You can't keep yourself in an environment that makes you feel like this, okay? So we have to find a way to work with what we have, work with the people around us. And when we can't be in so much of an energy of cutting someone out, I think we understand what choices we do have. And I think you do have choice here. Okay, and I feel like the choice here is to show compassion, to still be nurturing, to still be loving. This Queen of Cups is the intuitive, passionate, compassionate queen who gives love unconditionally from a very loving place. Okay, this is kind of like a mini Empress energy, because the Empress is all about unconditional love, and she is giving and caring. So I feel like there was a need to go from a Queen of Swords in reverse, to understanding where you can show compassion without allowing yourself to be kind of pulled into someone else's drama. Okay, someone else's story. Someone else wanting to write the story here. And I feel this causes great shift here and change in a situation where someone was feeling like they had control or was able to sort of navigate where you were going. Okay, because I feel like there is abundance and joy and happiness and clarity. And look, we have the two, the lovers here, okay, showing up in the sun. So I think there's a coming together here that hasn't happened yet, because I think we need to still go through the trusting of the universe to do what the universe does in divine timing, whatever was fated to happen here, whatever peace we're supposed to make. But we have to encompass the greatest, highest version of ourselves. We cannot be in one energy and mirror back because someone else was in a different energy. We're learning the balance between boundaries. And so I feel like we will soon see this very clear, but right now we don't see the sun or the clarity or the coming together or the joy, because we're still maybe in an energy of being angry about something or still learning the lessons of what we need. Yeah, still learning. We're still understanding this lesson, and I don't know that we've learned it yet with the fates in reverse. Okay, so you're having to fully understand why you're the way you are, or why something happened in some way here. What did we learn from it? What do we not repeat? Why did this happen? Has this happened before? What can I do? How can I still be giving without being taken advantage of? If I can, if I want to, if I feel that this is a situation I want to give to, and how can I hang back and listen and be receptive without getting triggered, without getting angry, because there's an understanding here with the Hierophant and this library, okay? And even with the writing in the book, there's an understanding of a greater truth here. And I think the wisdom is in your ability to rise above, you know, and really commit to a greater purpose of understanding that you have in regards to what the universe is trying to deliver here with the fates. Like there's something that I feel is being fated to fold out or roll out here. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And it was definitely feeling very stuck, or like whatever was supposed to be coming forward in a practical way here of happening might have never happened, felt very stuck. Like this is very stuck energy. So it causes frustrations, okay? But it doesn't cause the frustration no more. We see this conflict. We offer nurturing and compassion. We could find resolution where we couldn't in the past. We now know that sometimes we can close the chapter without burning the book. I don't know why I just heard that. And pick up the book at a later date here. Something's on pause, something's on hold. And it's on hold for a very good reason. Okay, it's on hold for a very good reason, because I don't think you guys are seeing eye to eye, and I don't think you're coming together in a nice cohesive way. I think someone's being a little immature, might have other priorities, might be focusing on other things here that's not really important. And so I feel like there's big decisions that are coming on the table here for both parties, okay? So yeah, realizations are happening, but I think the clarity isn't there yet. And once we see the clarity, we can come together and have the renewal of whatever this couple is, the King and the Queen of Swords, the lovers, the partnership. Okay, this is beautiful. And look, she's wearing a wedding dress here. Okay, that's Hierophant energy. That's lover's energy. That's commitment. And this Knight of Pentacles could be an offer of commitment here, but it's in the reverse, stuck in some way. Okay, so I feel like there's something happening here that is just on pause, that isn't completely over, that you might have overreacted in some way. And trust me, you can react however you want. And maybe this person deserved exactly what they got, you know, but not here in our spiritual energy, not with you, pile 3, because the first thing I felt when I opened your reading was how beautiful your energy is. So no matter the conflict and the uneasiness and what's being thrown at you, you still have dignity, you're still compassionate, but you're not allowing things to freeze you over. You're still in this energy, giving love, giving light, joyful, blessing everything, you know, and it's not this in denial energy, but it's knowing I have control of what I give my energy to. I move towards abundance here. And if this is not an abundant thing, then this thing can sit on ice. But it no longer puts me in this. Because I make the decisions here, okay? And I don't doubt that the universe is doing everything it can to make this King of Swords come out of the cold, find compassion within the situation themselves, be able to also make peace here, be able to listen from a sort of a lover's perspective here. We need to be able to listen and to give when it's time to listen and give. Okay. But I think it's bringing more lighthearted energies here where it was very heavy. Like, look at the difference. This is what we're now sort of seeing and realizing. We don't need to be in this when we can be in this. And I know it's very impactful when we're involved with people here who play a significant role, you know, and we're feeling very much like this. Like, this is not a good energy. So I think you just could not know more, you know. So, yes, pile 3. This is what I have for you guys. I love you guys so, so much. I hope this reading resonated for you. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you soon. Bye.